celestial event. No words. No words. Describe. I should have said. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. Look at me to see what I see. I need to see.
These are the spiritual as much as physical voyages of the Co-Federation Solar Sun, our starship planet Earth, restored to heaven on our every earth as our spiritual, genealogical, local, global, universal voyager and shared her and his family community enterprise. Our new millennial year's mission to rediscover and re-understand, sustain, and explore are and all are in fact familiar new worlds of family community, of the tree of love, life, and light throughout the solar system and universe, to restore, renew, and sustain our and new life and new sustainable civilizations, past, present, retroactively, and now, rebalance, and future, always balancing, to lovingly, genealogically, and boldly become and be space-time travelers whenever and where we have interdimensional reality, all in part been before, if also never been before, in alternative space-time lines that are circles, which are of the universal EQ, IQ, and SQ continuum. Balance, combinations of the ever-expanding circle which spirals and grows, budding and blooming in space-time. Love and live enlightened, ever young, long, and prosper all both in each and every one. Engage your heart, mind, soul, and body, for we all, both and each, both and all, can, must, and marvelously and miraculously make it so.
In the thunder's blast, she merges, her eyes on fire, the mighty priestess. She is risen from the nativity of Caldera. She is risen from the fires of the earth. She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
We all are risen via my intercession.
महालक्ष्मी मृडप्रिया महारूपा महापूज्या महापातकनाशिनी महामाया महासत्त्वा महाशक्ति महारथी महाभोगा महेश्वर्या महावीर्या महाबला महाबुद्धि महासिद्धि महायोगेश्वरेश्वरी महातंत्र महामंत्र महायंत्र महासना महायागक्रमाराध्या ओम महाभैरवपूजिता महेश्वर महाकल्पक महातांडव साक्षिणी महाकामेशमतिथि महात्रिपुर सुंदरी चतुष्षष्टि उपचाराढ्या चतुष्षष्टि कलामयी महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटियोगिनी गणसेविता Just a smile like one of us, just a stranger on the bus.
Celestial event. No. No words. No words. To describe. I should have said. Oh, so beautiful. So beautiful. The people need to see what I see. They need to see.
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children may live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not our new millennial law.
Okay. Brother Patricia, maybe May Sunflower, the Cherokee and Blackfoot. This is Anna Marie, singing Christian, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Blackfoot, and Alabama, Florida. And I am also a French, English, and German. I have seen. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennial golden rule as the law of all the natives of the sacred ground that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universes.
Welcome to our broadcast. We're going to make an outreach call or two and then be right back. We're putting you on mute for a moment. Okay, now we've sent some preliminary messages, and we're just going to do the ceremony. I'm doing it like the Statue of Liberty originally stood for a while. For a long time, there was only one Statue of Liberty. We know they're now on essentially every continent and represent every heritage. But for a while, there was just one. And I don't mind being just one. If you can keep your head around about you when everyone else is losing theirs, then you are a goddess. And that is what I am doing. Okay? The light is on, and we're going to do this ceremony twice. I'm doing just by myself, and I want everyone to know it's just by myself. Just by myself, because I'm doing it intercessorily for everyone, and I conclude everyone in my circle, in my heart. And that's going to have to be enough for Goddess God on this day until we can move you forward. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love I wish you all were here. For all, both and each, and everyone as soon as possible. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers. Hugs and love for all, both and each, and everyone as soon as possible. And I say, Namaste, Bahafala Chaim Shalom, Mitikuya Oyasin, Mitikuya Koseviro, Bahafala Chaim Shalom, Salam, and all of the languages of peace of the Middle East and all of the world. Mirapache, merci, to you, to best, Larrick, and especially love and live longest eternally young, long eternally young, and prosper everyone and all. Okay, and we'll say this. We'll drink the milk of human kindness for all, both in each and everyone as soon as possible. And we remember that our marvelous holy child in our family was hurt by patriarchal medicine, and that it threatened to many of the family members that I've loved. That some of them became sick. We lost women and men who should not have passed because we didn't understand that the medicine was patriarchal, and they were leaving out the understanding of the human stress that is caused by adjustment to patriarchy. I now understand this, and I want to open up the stargates and bring it back, everyone. Even the ones who made errors toward me or toward you or toward anyone. I believe all people who Goddess God created deserve eternal life. So we want to start with our great and grandmothers and remember all the breastfeeding they did. Even the ones who screwed up at it, they did some. And they gave birth to you. And they had breasts. And they loved you at some level, even the ones that screwed up, and we include. I'll come back to the names. We'll do the whole names in a little bit. But let's remember all the mothers and the babies, the baby girls and the baby boys, holy born without patriarchy, holy born in parity. Atlantis risen. And also the human kindness throughout life that we seem to have lost entirely as a culture. I can't tell you how many times, how many women have hung up on me. How many times they've hung up on each other. How many times they haven't even lifted the phone to call each other in 30 and 40 years. They're cold. They've become as cold as witches and bitches. And they don't even notice it because they're adjusted down to fitting into a world of men that values money, values title, and does not value human connection. I drink to them all. They have human kindness through me. I've tried reaching to them all. Not all of them respond. I won't give up on anyone. No one. And God's God, if I am too late, Please extend the time and undo your choice of making it too late. I will reset the calendar. We will reset the calendar, Goddess God, and turn the tip of the tilt of the planet if we need to recollect our little lost children and make sure that they do have eternal life. And we'll drink the water of loving living planets that will sustain and regain our planet Earth to be. And all our Earths, opening the stargates. I drink for all, both, and each and every one as soon as possible. And we have the birthday cakes. We have the birthday cakes. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, past, present, and future, starting with our spring and autumnal spring equinox birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days. And all of the years rounds, birthdays, conception days, names, and holy days. Past, present, and future, doubly celebrating the ones that we missed through alienation due to patriarchy, and regain the connection that comes of appreciating the divine feminine and the parity, the reparation to the female and to the young, and to divine parity and democracy. And we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together, past, present, and future. Okay. On this and all our planets. Now we're holding up our consciousness currencies of our great and grandmother, our Shekinah and Hekina youth, female and male, age 37 and younger, put together in consciousness currencies. These are in valuations of trillions and zillions. Each person is a universe. Every female has been so harmed. She thinks her value is based on what she earns, because that is what men have taught. But that isn't what a value is based on at all. Each person is a universe. Each person has incredible ultimate value. And the women have been so devalued, they didn't even have a way to afford their meals. So many of us, so many women, unless they prostituted themselves and became demeaned and lost their dignity. I celebrate all of these people, known and unknown, and especially the ones pictured here. And we'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, and I'm sure I'm holding up the family tree now, and I'm going to do the kisses, the 5 sets of 11 kisses. And let me say that this group of women here is not all of them. There's many, many more. There's like, probably about, I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 women that we know are on our branches of family, that interacted with our family, that interacted with the daughters of Harriet and their daughters and their great and grandchildren. All of them are included. All of the Shekinah, of all of those women, going back to the beginning of time. No one is left out. All women are going back to the beginning of time. I'm leaving no one out. Everyone in this world that has ever lived in this world, I am including them, of all their heritages. The Native American heritages, especially important, and the decimated heritages of Judeo-Christianity that happened, so many pogroms and genocides and starvations and famines. All of them, 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 all of them. And here we have our contemporary women, our Shekinah, who don't understand how valuable and important they are, and are so busy ignoring one another at the time when they should be most connecting. It was partly my fault that that happened, and I'm so sorry, Kaniska. I cannot ever forgive the piece of the error that was mine, but I ask you to forgive it, so that I can continue to stand up for these people and help them, and they don't lose this chance for eternal life, and the regaining of their dignity and their decency, and their kindness and their love. And here are all the children, the great and grandchildren, female and male. They're so gifted and so beautiful. They are the budding, blooming flowers, especially so. I want them to be entering into the Stargate with me by the 22nd. I want to open it up and have them know all of their past Shekinah. First go first, and then any of the youth that passed at age 37 or younger to come through. And then, after all that is done, then we can have the older men come through the Stargate too. And we can reclaim the older men of our times and teach them to talk to each other about patriarchy and the difference of patriarchy and parity and how it affects children and women and youth, and how it makes men stupid and sociopathic and warlike. So please protect all these children and these people. I'll do these kisses again. I don't know. I felt that God is God. I should be able to do it. And oh, I didn't. I hung up the phone. I'm a fool. Let me get the phone back. Okay, God is God. Now the line is open. If anybody comes, let them speak to me loudly enough so I can hear them. I don't have my microphone well, so make sure that they get through. And we've done that, and now we just have to do the fruit. And then I'm going to say the names. I'm going to say the names once, and then I'm going to call the lines and say it again for the family and tell them that it's there as best I can. And I love them all. God is God. They are much more beautiful than this fruit, and don't make them rotten. Renew them. Make a miracle. Make a miracle, God is God. Make a marvelous miracle. Renew my family. Refreshen them again. Forgive me how I harmed them, and forgive them how they harmed each other and harmed me in their world, in our world and universe, and you. Mother, Father, God is God, forgive them for offending you and forgive me for offending you. And let them know their beauty and their heritages and all share them and be proud of them and learn from one another. And give each of one another their marvelous, miraculous gifts. Please don't make me just speak insane, God is God. Let there be a chance for this. Don't make me too late. Please don't make me too late. And now I'll say, light. There it is. I'll say, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. We'll say all the blessings and all the greetings of all the heritages of our earth and our earths, past, present, and future together. And we'll do that again. Or it gave them at the beginning of the ceremony. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. We'll say all the greetings and all the blessings of all the planets of our earth and our earths, of all our earth and all our planets, past, present, and future together. Now let me say the names. Ray and Clara. Ray and Clara, Clara and Ray. Jackie and Jacqueline and Harriet, Harriet and Jacqueline. Julianne Marie and Rochelle. Rochelle and Julianne Marie. Maybe I should start it out the other way. Rochelle and Julianne Marie. Julianne Marie and Rochelle. And Rita and Marilyn. Marilyn and Rita. Marion and her sister. Barbara and Judy. Judy and Barbara. Martha and Ma Patricia. Laura and Marie. Ma Patricia and Martha and Anne Marie and Laura. Anne Marie first. Go first. And Sally. Sally and Ruby. And Pearl. And Deborah. Arlene. Thelma. Lee, Thelma, Arlene. Helene and Bacha and Helene. Deborah and Paula and Deborah. Alexandra, Rachel, Juliana and Francesca. Francesca, Juliana, Rachel and Alexandra. Lynn and Sharon and Joan and Diane. And Diane and Sharon and Joan and Lynn. And Hesperus and Athena and Hesperus. And Jennifer and her stepsisters, I don't remember their name. I have to look that up. You know who I mean. All of the daughters there, the ones who married in. Victoria, Vanessa, and Victoria, and Libertia, and Estara, and Sharon. Judy and her sister, I don't know her name, and her mother, I don't know her name. Louise and her mother and her sisters and cousines, and I don't know their names. Georgine and Shirley and Malka and Shirley and Georgine. Theodora and all her women family. Martha and all the women family. Maria and all the women family, Bertha and all the women family, Janelle, Jamela and all the women family, Barbara and all her line, Linda and Diana, Diana and Linda, Abby and Sarah, Sarah and Abby, Donna, Donna with Diana. Forgive me, Goddess God. Forgive me for having allowed this to happen. Forgive me, forgive me. Forgive me, forgive me. Oh, forgive me. And Tracy and Dana and Dale and Julie and Dory and Julie and Deborah and Annabelle and Hortense and Irene and Lillian and Paula and Annie and any ones that I'm forgetting there, and Barbara and her mother, all the way going back, and Marla and Marcia and Annette. Now, I'm getting now to the mothers who had sons as well as daughters. I've done some of them. Marie and Ross, Maria and her mother and sister, and all of her family, and Soma and Meredith and Soma and their mothers and sisters, and all their Kazinas, all the way going back, and Stacy, Anastasia, and Cheryl, and Dorothy, and all the ones that we always say. And now I'll say also the sisters and brothers that I haven't already mentioned. I think I've mentioned them. The sisters and brothers, the daughters of fathers. I'll say the names of the men now. Have I said the names of the young boys? No, I haven't done that. Let me do the names of them, their mothers and their sisters. Mary and her sister, and her mother, and Ross. And me and Julie and Marie, and Jackie and Harriet, and Ray and Clara. With Vanessa, with Victoria, with Estera, with Estera, with Libertia, with Sharon, with Vanessa, with Hadass, with Soma, all in a crowd of little beauties who are fully decision-making and regarded with full dignity, and not just as objects to any man, but as full human beings with the universe inside them. And also Harlan Rislav is protected from all the wrongs that he's been taught. And also, yes, let's say again, and Rita and Marilyn, with Lillian and Molly, and with Linda and Michelle, and with Ellen, and with Jennifer and Jessica, and with Heidi, and all of them regarded as universes. Universes, Captain Janeway's even better. Better, and even more. And let their brothers know it. And so I'll say also the names of the men. I'll say them when their mothers come and their sisters come. But I'll say the names of the men of my line that are directly of my line. Because I cannot apologize for men who so pervert the minds of their women that someone who has my light is cut out so strongly after so many requests. I say their names in my heart. I say their names in my heart. I'm not going to say them aloud, but I say them in my heart. And I'll also say the names of the men who have passed that I want to bring through the stargates. Julia, Lewis, Alan, Abel, Oscar, Paul, Joseph, and Milton. Okay. And we'll say it again. And we'll say also, Donnie O'Rourke and Mario Rainbow Sweetheart. Mario Rainbow Sweetheart and Donnie O'Rourke saying hi and hugs to Heather and Jam and Heather, and to on behalf of Whiskers and Tiger and Blackie and Buttermilk and Blackie, let's put it Buttermilk and Blackie and Buttermilk, and Felix, and also remembering Cookie, and let's remember the real Cookie. And I'm forgetting too many of the names on that line, but I know who I'm talking about. Remember all those women on that line. All of those women. I did them wrong. I had them to work with and I failed. I was too busy cutting out little books for other people's families instead of my own. So please protect all these people and all the people who have ever lived. Goddess God. Let us open the stargates for them all. Especially the Holocausted people, the oppressed people, the exploited people, the people who died prematurely of stress and disease, the people who were murdered, the people who were harmed, and all people, even the ones who did the wrongs. Let us help them learn a better way. And I love you, and I am your daughter. And whatever I have done wrong and have failed these people, don't make them suffer on my account of failure. I beg you to do. Extend the time and let's make another Valentine's Day on the 22nd. So I can get my outreach done and the pieces of my little puzzle put together for them. And that they can benefit. And that they can learn. And that we honor them all. Okay? Now I'm going to call. And I'm going to call and do the ceremony again. I'm going to play the music again. And do the whole thing all over again. Let's see, it's 2:45. It's 17 minutes to play the music. And probably another 15 minutes to do the ceremony. Okay, all right, it should work. Oh, and Georgine. Call Georgine. One 773 161 5586. Esther and Ilza and all their Shekinah, and Sarah and Judy and all their Shekinah.
Okay, now let's do this again. Okay, I've just done this Valentine's Day complete a circle of all the Shekinah that ever lived on all the branches of family and community that ever interacted with our family, starting with the family that gathered at the and came from the home that was the hat, crown, and halo solar crown place of our origins in this part of the world. Obviously, it connects to many other continents. It connects to Europe. It connects to Israel. It connects actually to Africa through Israel. It connects to the Vedic civilization through the Roma. It goes back to India. It connects to all of those women too. I have included all the women on earth. And all of their youth, female and male, aged 37 and younger, particularly those who have been endangered by patriarchy. And I've included that. Now, I'm going to do the whole ceremony again right now, including we're going to try to play the tapes right way and the sounds and show you the pictures. And if I get a little bit behind on that, I'm going to speed forward and try to give you, and to tell you I've already done this. And I'm going to do this, so you're going to hear all this on the 345-555 extension. Goddess God saw me. I did it in completion. I did it for all of you as full intercessory. You were harmed by my also not being there for so many years. I let you fall because I thought that you had more of eternal feminine in you than you did, because I didn't understand how end-stage patriarchy was affecting you. I didn't understand it. And I couldn't believe what I was seeing, the lack of connection, the lack of interest, the lack of mutual regard. I couldn't understand it. But I now see that you were really being assaulted by the media and your own inclinations, that especially people born in the 30s and the 40s really didn't have as good an opportunity to know the best breastfeeding and the maternal connection and an easier time, a less warlike time. I want to give that all to all of you, and I love you all so much. So listen to the 345-555 extension. Please forgive me for not having understood this earlier in my life. I would give you everything in the world. I love you all. You have no idea how much I love you. Goddess God loves you even more than I do, and I love you so much I could never find the words. Especially those closest to me and raised by my mother. And known my parents and our grandparents. I love you all. So listen to the three, and I love all your neighbors, all the people who ever did any kindness to you and tried to. Let them, and you do that for them. I'm calling back on the 345-555 extension.
Okay, my beloved Shekinah and youth, female and male, Shekinah and Hekina. I have already done the complete ceremony by myself. Goddess God, coming through the shining light in my window, watched me and sees that I have done it for you, and I've given all of the names of all the branches of all the people of our family who were female ever from the beginning of time, as much as I can imply them by naming as many women on the various branches of all of these branches that have ever known us and that have anything to do with our mother and our great-grandmothers, great-grandmothers, and our Shekinahs and our sisters, our Kazina sisters, and all of our youth, female and male, age 37 and younger, female and male, first go first. I also whispered the names of the men of our family. And some are so outrageous right now that I whispered them very, very quietly and barely moved the air, because they are in extreme error, and you have been promoting them in that error, and they don't know how extreme their error is because you have been allowing it. Because you have been victims of the media and victims of your own electric complexes and all the other issues of low self-esteem and low mother-daughter connection that come out of patriarchy itself, and low Kazina circling that come out of patriarchy itself. And so you've been the victims already. You've been victims. You are victims. You're coming out of victimhood of thousands of years. There's been huge victims of patriarchy. We've had many genocides. We've had starvations, famines, epidemics, all kinds of horrible things that have taken the lives of people who could have had eternal life, all because of patriarchy. I've prayed for them all, okay, on your behalf and in your names. Now, so I'm going to, now I was going to play the music and do the screen. Yeah, I've already done it. So you can look on the broadcast. Look on the broadcast and you'll see it. I want to get very quickly to the tape of two sisters speaking. That is very important for everyone to hear. This is the most important thing, that sisters can cooperate and speak together of their mothers and their grandmothers and their Shekinah and of the women of their community, and what agency women have to do what takes care of their children and one another and their families all together.
And then she said she couldn't use the maid for everybody. Did you feel sure for that? That's when she came back and started to spell again that the brother sent her. Her whole love was to have her children there. She didn't try to just to get along, have enough to eat. She was careful, very careful. And there was a sister, Clara.
Okay, so there were two sisters talking about two sisters, and our family is filled with sisterhood. That of many sisters who don't talk to another enough, as important as they should. There's too many of those on the family doing that. And we have to help you understand that Kazinas are sisters. Sisters and Kazinas are the same thing. They're of a circle. When you enlarge yourself beyond the nuclear family, and you'll understand that in the old and most successful times for peace and humanity, there was a clan mentality among people who knew one another. They didn't just divide up into individual units and live in houses and never have anything to do with each other. They had reunions, they had ceremonies, they had the Eleusinian mysteries. The Eleusinian mysteries took in whole cities. Whole cities of people came in as a community. And the women were the officials. They did the ceremonies. They were the high priestesses. They were regarded as incarnations of the goddess, and they were to confer immortality on all of the women first, on all of their youth, female and male, next, and then the older men were come into it. This was the way the Eleusinian mysteries worked, and we do them. So I'm going to do the ceremony for you right now. I'm going to play if there's time, I'll play a little of the music. If not, you can hear it. You've heard it before, I think, on this extension. It's very moving music. We can open the stargates if we recognize the value of the female. Each female contains a universe of ideas, of memories, of thoughts, of connections, of potentials. Under patriarchy, all of that genius gets watered down, subjugated, meant to fit either usually a model of only has to be sexually attractive to man, or another model of becoming like a man in order to fit in, and mostly to serve the older men. Now,
I think there's nothing wrong with the serve impulse. People should want to serve one another. But there is something terribly wrong and different between the parity and the egalitarianism they had in Atlantis and the patriarchy that expects only women to become the helpmate and the men to not help in equal kindness. And so we need to teach men the way of Atlantis. In Atlantis, the men recognize the value of the women. And that comes a little bit through the anthropology of the difference between bonobos and chimpanzees or orangutans. The bonobos are a peace culture, and the women, the females, hang together more. And that is a key element in helping men not practice war on one another, not exploit one another, not make each other sick and stressed, and have eternal life themselves. So you have to understand what I'm trying to get across, and I hope you do. I'm going to do the ceremony again right now, and I'll say as many names as I can, because I'm rushing also to get you these messages that you know that this is here, and that you are precious beyond words. And I apologize to you all that I did not understand earlier in my life what I understand now, because I would have given it to you. And I would have made you already better than Star Trek and Stargate put together. You would have already had all the benefits, and this world would have peace, and every person on it would have solar energy, renewability, a happy family, a happy neighborhood, and just truly a heaven on earth. Elysian fields everywhere, gardens of Eden everywhere. We could do this. This is not impossible. You're adjusted down to a world of wars, of separate nations that war with one another. All of this has come out of the degradation of the female and her own degradation of each other, of herself and each other. And then she passes that on to her children, and they do repeat the cycle. And each time it's repeated, it becomes more and more dangerous to humanity, which is now so dangerous that we are in a period of either complete destruction or extreme devolution. In other words, instead of being intelligent human beings, we're becoming stupider and stupider and stupider and stupider. We're losing our genius and becoming more and more like lower animals. We don't want that. We don't want that for you. I hope I'm not too late, and I pray to Goddess God that I have the extended time through, I'm hoping to the 22nd, to open the stargates with you here and motivate you to come here. And I'm doing everything I can figure out, and also to deal with the social factors. You've got macro factors operating now, particularly through the media and the way it sells political figures to you. And your understanding of democracy, that's all very lacking in common sense, harmful to especially young people and women and young people, also very harmful to minorities, also very harmful, in fact, to majorities, because it turns the majority people into dominators instead of divine. And they become more and more ape-like, insensitive to the needs of other human beings, without empathy and without genius. And they can't do anything but die in their own waste. Oh yeah, they can die on top in their own waste. Wow, whoop-de-doo. Is this a gift? I don't think so. So we're giving you the better alternative, and I'll do the ceremony right now. And you heard the tape of the two sisters. One of the sisters who's with us on this earth heard it. And her sister on another planet, I guarantee you, heard it. That's why we're opening the stargates. I guarantee you, the sister and the mother of these people, of us, of our family, they heard it. They heard it, they heard it, and they heard all the names of all of their Shekinah relations named. And you're going to hear it again right now. So let me put this. I'm going to, I think it'll pick up. I need to do it. I didn't get the intercom in, but I'm not going to worry about that now. I'll just do it this way with my phone in my hand. Okay, and we're broadcasting, and we've been broadcasting all this while. So you can also just go to the Google's Hangouts on Air, and you can see this and hear it. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. This is within us all.
hugs and love to all, both, and each and every one as soon as possible. And we say all the greetings and blessings. We say namaste, the divine within me greets the divine within you. Mitakuye Oyasin becomes Mitakuye Ko Savior all. We are all related, much more deeply and widely and universally than we could ever quite realize. Ahava l'chaim, shalom, salam, salam, shalom. No more fratricidal warfare coming out of the failure of sisterhood in the Middle East or anywhere on this earth. Merci. Diobesque, said Lyric. Mitakuye, let's see, Kongs Pax becomes Ko Pax culture. Pache, mirror. Ciao, Schlanzavag, juice. All of the languages that our family ever came in, Ubuntu, all of the languages of this planet that our family has sojourned in. Our family was in China. There were many Margulises in China. So we'll say chop and sayonara. And all of the languages of all the continents. Gudai, mighty, meaning female as well as male. And we'll say all of this, and we'll say, again, we'll do it reciprocally. The light is on in all our hearts. We'll say all, and we have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. Hugs and love to all, both, in each and everyone. And remember, I am at this home that was this hat store that gathered the women to put on their crowns, not knowing their full value, that they were the Atlantis people of the Statue of Liberty, that they were she and she is they. And they are the holy anointed apotheosis, the Mariam of Magdala and the Jesus of Nazareth, with all of their kin in a circle, anointed, all of them, the way it was in Atlantis. Okay, and the way it was also in Vedic India. And we'll say, we have the round glass with the world etched on it, filled with milk. And we say, we'll drink the milk of human kindness for all, both, and each and every one as soon as possible. And we especially drink the milk in honor of the babies, the holy baby little girls, that all of our Shekinah have always been, especially the ones that I know so dearly. All of you, and you know who you are. I know the one of my mother, and I know that my mother made errors, because in 1947 they commonly made errors. In 1930s and 1940s, the doctors were all telling the mother to put the babies on scheduled feeding. They were all doing that. That's patriarchal medicine, and they all followed. The women blindly followed, and they knew nothing about their own value to their own babies. And so they hurt their babies. Now we can heal this. We can heal this with love. Powerful love can heal anything. Powerful love can heal anything. Any malady. It can resurrect the past, and even those who have passed, be it the stargates. We can resurrect. We have that power. Just watch Stargate, and you know that that power is possible. And that's science fiction, but it is based on much that is science fact. We have members of our family community who are involved in longevity studies and rejuvenation studies. This is not beyond us. So I'll drink, and we drink the milk of human kindness at every stage of life. Women who are now so busily hanging up the phone on one another, not coming to conference calls, not gathering in their local community as a circle, all of this behavior is the loss of the milk of human kindness in women that end-stage patriarchy is now producing in you. You have to overcome the tendency to shut each other down and to shut me down. You have to open up your heart
of milk of human kindness. You have to refine it. It's in you. It's in you. It's in you. It's in you. You have it. You have it. You have it. You have it. I drink the milk of human kindness for all, both of each and every one as soon as possible. And you know what? Men have it too. And you know, under certain conditions, when there's no one around, men can actually get milk from their nipples. Because men have the X chromosome too. Men have to have the milk of human kindness within them, because without it, they become monsters and they die and they kill horribly and they stress everybody. So the X chromosome is profoundly important to men. Men have estrogen and they have oxytocin and vasopressin and other hormones that are very similar, a little bit different, but very similar in terms of their attitudes toward children and people who they care about. And they have to learn to care about everyone. We all do. And now we will drink the water of loving, living planets that will sustain and regain our planet Earth. Will regain and sustain our planet Earth and all our planet Earths to be enlightened with balance of gender parity and paradise instead of patriarchal planeticides. I'll drink for all, both, and each and everyone as soon as possible to our cosmos, our Astrea Gaia, all the goddess names within all women on all the planets, and within and the goddess and the god aspect within actually both genders, because women also have male aspects. We have testosterone. We have the ability to have agency. We have the ability to stand up as tall as the Statue of Liberty without hesitation, without fear. So I drink to the milk of humankind. I drink the water of loving, living, enlightened planets for our Earth and all our Earths, past, present, and future together. On behalf of all, both, and each and every one, representing all, both, and each and every one as just possible. Okay, now I'm going to get the cakes. Okay, I'm holding the cakes. If you're watching, you can see me. Okay, and we're going to celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together. We're starting because we're coming right into spring. So we're going to start with our spring birthdays and conception days, and also go and include at the same time in that circle our autumnal equinox birthdays and conception days. Equinox is important because it is at equinox that we focus most on equality, on balance. And it also is the EQ of emotional quotient, the strengthening of the heart bond, the light in the heart. It has to be strengthened in our culture. It's very, very, very dim. It's almost out in some people, and we cannot allow that. So we are going to make sure to celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together. And I'll do it again with the reciprocal, holding it reciprocally. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together. Okay, now I'm going to hold up the consciousness currencies. If you're watching, you can see me do this. Okay, now I am showing the consciousness currencies that show our great-grandmothers, our current Shekinah, currently with us Shekinah, and all our youth and female and male, age 37 and younger, depicted with a value of trillions and zillions of dollars. Now, by your disconnection, you've been reducing your value. By your reconnection, you will regain your value very quickly. That is what you need to do. You need to know the value of connection and of human kindness toward one another, and toward me, and toward Anne Marie and Ma Patricia, and other people who have reached out to you over the years. And we all need to forgive one another for not knowing our value, and for thinking that only people who were advertised on television were more valuable than we are, because we have better answers than they do now. You have the New Millennial Golden Rule. You have the way to save an earth and all earths from destruction and from devolution. So you have it. So now we'll do the kisses. Okay. Now you're familiar with the family tree with the large pictures of you. Now I've shown the file pictures of you on as files, you know, the graphics of you in large and small, and with the great and grandmothers, and also in connection with other first families. You know, you've seen that. And I've also shown the picture of the building that would be similar to that, which was the home where Ray and Harriet raised Jackie, and Harriet was also raised there, and where it started out with a younger brother who, under the pressures of the patriarchally induced depression, passed away and shouldn't have, because even at that time, women were not connecting very well. It was a very warlike time, and the gentler people, often the gentler but sometimes more intelligent men, passed away too early, and they became ill. But especially it was very stressful on women. Women were abused. There was a high amount of abuse. They were very trained to act worm-like toward their men in many of the families, the Orthodox families. And this is what you heard about on the tape, that there was a tendency of our family to become more liberal and progressive, and to regard the female as important, and gather the females. And so here we have our family tree, and showing you this with all the Shekinah on the top and the Shekinah in the middle of current generations, and our youth, female and male, there, and nobody's on the bottom because this is really a circle. And we'll go. And then, of course, I have those family members who are particularly I'm bonded to very closely because I grew up with them. I've raised them as children or grew up with them as children. They are the children of my mothers and grandmothers, our parents and great-grandparents, and also the one who loves them the most. So a very important person for the future of this family tree. And so I give them special kisses. The mothers and the sisters and the daughters, and the daughters, and there's a mother and sister and daughter tree implied for this young woman. We're going to get to those names too, and the young man. And this is in addition to the circle you've already seen. They're part of that circle you've already seen. Okay, and now we'll do that whole large tree again, because it is that circle, that larger circle of extended family, that really allows you to know what your true gifts are. It brings them out. You're like a rainbow that needs the other colors to shine. If you don't get all the colors to come into the rainbow, you can't shine very well. You need to have all of them. You need to make circles and many different combinations, and you'll know your true gifts. Okay, and we've got lots of sisters here, some Kazinas, and you know, on all the generations, there's both sisters, pairs, and Kazina circles, and the youth, female and male, forming first the sister Kazina circles, and also sister-brother circles, brother and sister and Kazina and brother cousin circles, and eventually, after we've done that for a while, then we'll also have more brother circles, brother cousin circles, and older men come back in as full partners. And now I need to say the names. We've already said the names of Sarah Harriet, Rhea Rayette, Clara Ra. And when I say Harriet, I also include her little Ya. Ya has fallen into patriarchy. She's lost herself. Her agency is missing. She lives through other people's alleged agency, but it's actually out of balance agency. It's domination rather than agency, and it causes a lot of division. But they can all be reclaimed. But we honor her too. She's a part of a sister pair, as is Clara and Ray, a sister pair okay? And we also honor their mother. We don't even know the name of Grandma Margulies for sure. We don't know her sisters. She certainly had some. We know her mother, Grandma Popper, and we honor her and all her sister cousines. And we honor Antoinette and all her sister cousines and all her daughters, Lillian and Adele and Rose, and there's others who she had, and all of her children. We honor all of her children that were female and male. And we also honor Rose, Risen Rose. We honor all of her children. We honor the female of her line who acted out under patriarchy, did a nasty thing to her nieces. And to one of her nieces. But we honor her anyway because she too is a victim of patriarchy. So we honor Annette, and we do honor her daughter, Marcia, and all of the women that are of that name. There's many Zalkind women. There's Rebecca, there's Diane, there's Ruth, and there's others that we have located and spoken with at times. There's I believe a Sally, there's a Sandra Zalkind, Zalman. I say it Zalkind because we have to get beyond the man and get to the kind that includes both female and male kind, people who are kind. And also the silver kind, we have to, let me go to that first. We have not only Antoinette, but we have Lucille, and we have Thelma, we have Lee and Thelma and Arlene, and we have Helene and Bacha and Helene and Sherry, and we have all of that line. And we also have who I met here, my rabbi, who made it possible for women to pray at the Wailing Wall with her daughter Hillel, and her very famous sisters Sarah and Ashira, and her daughters Ashira and Hillel, and her sisters Sarah and Jodine and Laura, and their mother Beth Ann, who we're also bringing back to the Stargates. And we also have Francesca and Juliana and Rachel and Alexandra, also Margulies, the very famous family, and Francesca's mother. And we have been in touch with them, and they know about this. And you're part of them, and they're part of you. They've done the acting it out on theater. You're going to act out a resurrected, better than Camelot, better than Avalon and Camelot in real life. This is what you have to do to bring forth the glory of that family and in connection with us. And we're also, of course, mentioning, and let me say right away, Hadass and Marion and their mothers, Pearl and Esther and Sister Kazinas. And we're also mentioning very much so Vanessa and her mother, and I've given them anointed names of Victoria and Estrella and Libertia and Sharon. And those are just anointed names to just give an idea of some line there. There is a very important line, and we're also including Georgine with Malka and Shirley and all of her line, and also Mary and her, this is a mother of us. Now we're getting to the mothers of the sons. And I need to remember, and Rita and Marilyn and the mothers who are have granddaughters, Jessica and Jennifer, and daughters Michelle and Linda. And we have many more. I'm sure I'm forgetting some. We have Mrs. Light and her daughter Carol, and we have all the teachers we ever knew, and their daughters, and their sister Kazinas, and all of them. And now we're getting to the mothers of sons. We're also including Mary and her sister Rebecca and their son Ross, and we're very much including, very close to my heart, Julianne Marie and our son, our nephew's son nephew. Harlan-Lewis Laviz with Vanessa make an enormous important couple for our family, and all of these people in connection, these young people, Rachel Marie, Danielle, Juliet. Oh, I didn't neglected to mention Barbara and her sister Judy, and Rachel Marie and Danielle Juliet, and so forth and so on. Now I'm running close to the edge of the time frame that I have to let people know that these messages are here. So I'm sure I've left some people out. And I'm also mentioning Barbara and her line, the Brink line. There's another name that's embedded in there, and there's another name on that line that is of the Russian women. Let's say we're also representing them through Tatiana, Valentino, and Elsa, but they also were likely named Panina or Pearl, and Antonina. And there were other names that are in that line, that the family fell apart, likely through abuse, very, very common in that part of the world. And we went through so much of our lives without even asking the names of that mother and her sisters and their cousines and why their family fell apart. We have to understand that. We are also including Diana and Donna. We are also including Abby and Sarah. We are also including all of the young men that we can reclaim from patriarchy into an egalitarian culture, and we believe it can be all of them, because once people understand the damage that they're causing to the loved ones that they love the most and to the world through patriarchal medicine, which is terribly in error, it's not including the psychosocial stresses that are on people, and it's a very, very disturbed and insidious force that has taken many, many people in our family that never should have, and that we are going to bring back through the Heartgate, through the Stargate. People who had diabetes and heart disease and diabetes and other diseases could have been easily ameliorated had people understood the stresses of patriarchy. And I'm also including Geodora and Georgine and all of their family, and Martha and Monica and all of the people there, and all of everyone that you can think, and Rita, Marilyn, Ellen, Jessica, Jennifer. I'm sure I'm leaving some out. So you add in the names of Maria and Bertha and Jamila, and I am adding in, of course, Anna Maria and Ma Patricia and Myrtle and Rosa and Pearl and also their daughters, their sisters, Laura and Martha, and their daughters, and their friend Lynn, and our sister Kazina through there, and our sister Kazina there, Jennifer, and her daughters, Hesperus and Athena, and who are the daughters and granddaughters of Lynn Margulies, and related to the Sweets and the Sagan Sweet line, Niece and Lynn, all of these people, Esther, Judy, Esther and Ilsa, and Judy and Sarah, and many, many, many more. You've got names that you are going to want to add. So all of these have gathered at this place, and we have opened the Stargate, the beginning of this opening today. We do it in your name. I am extending time. I'm begging Goddess God to extend the time till the 22nd so that we can complete this, and with your cooperation. I have some things that I hope will facilitate your cooperation, and we'll continue. I'm not giving up. I refuse to give up on anyone that I love. I refuse. I refuse. I love you all, and we'll say supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of our planet Earth and our Earths, past, present, and future, together. And we'll say it again. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, all the blessings and all the greetings of all our Earth and our Earths, past, present, and future, together. And we'll do this together. And I also say this in honor of your helpers, your sweet little assistants, Donia Aurora Feliz and Maria Rainbow Sweetheart, and Donia Aurora Feliz, and on behalf of Whiskers and Tiger and Holly and Tiger, and Buttermilk and Blackie and Buttermilk, and Felix, and all the flora and the fauna, and all the butterflies and the birdies and the bees, and all the people too, starting with the women, first go first, of our local global, and the youth, female and male, first go first, apotheosis, through the Eleusinian mysteries become revealed this way. And now, after having said that, I'll also say the names of the men of our family who want me to do this. They are begging me to do this so they can come through the Stargates too. Julian, Phyllis, Alan, Emil, Oscar, Paul, Joseph, and his younger brother, and Milton. Okay, I love you all, and I'm going to leave this message. Okay, that's our ceremony and our outreach today. We've done this all, and we love you all, and we're going to be back for more tomorrow. We hope God is extending the time on us because we're way late on what we plan to do, but we're not giving up. We're not giving up, and God may extend the time out of just sheer honoring of our stick-to-itiveness and our love for all of you. See you on the next broadcast.